My prediction is that in the near future, it'll be near illegal to be an individual. And there's going to be a lot of withholding of information going on. You see, it's not only that the people that are in charge, right? It's not only that they want to see us not reach our full potential as human beings. It's that they really don't want us to even know about it. They don't even want us to know how to do that, even if we were able to. And so I want to welcome everybody to today's Semen Retention Sunday episode here on the Regal Change channel. As you guys can tell, it is definitely fall out here in the mountains today. I'm outside in the mountains and it's beautiful. It's a bit nippy, but we're going to make it work. So rule number one with semen retention is to question everything. And I mean question everything, even question that rule. You might as well. Because if you do not question everything, ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to fall into somebody else's plan. You're not going to have a plan of your own. You're going to be falling into somebody else's plan, and you're not necessarily going to be able to really discern where exactly and what exactly you're really about in this life. You see, you are being corrupted into being persuaded to also to believe that you're not as powerful as you really are. And so many people don't want you to know about it. Why do you think semen retention, why do you think everybody advocates that? All of the doctors, they say, oh, well, you need to actually play with yourself at least once or twice a month just so you don't get prostate cancer. Man, we never had that kind of stuff. Like, think about how long it's been since we have had like cancer really proliferate in our society. It hasn't been too long. So my question is, with all of these other people that were growing up for the last thousands of years, how many of these people were actually developing prostate cancer because they didn't want to play with themselves? Because that just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't seem right that there would be so little knowledge about what's actually happening. It's almost like these people are intentionally, because they are, it's almost as if these people are intentionally not wanting to let you know about the semen retention secret. Because what happens when you have semen retention and you're on semen retention, it is something that you have, I suppose. What happens is that you start to get more in touch with yourself, in touch with Yahuwah. For those of you that are not aware, I'm now calling God and Jesus, Yahuwah and Yeshua as their original Hebrew names because I think that it's going to be more appropriate for me. I had a revelation recently where I'm going to start doing that and saying those certain things because it feels more right, and I definitely had a revelation about it. But that's a little bit beside the point here. The point is that we didn't used to have all these weird sicknesses and all of that, and now the doctors are being taught that you have to frickin' play with yourself in order to not get cancer. Tell me how that makes sense in reality. Tell me how that really makes sense. Because it frickin' doesn't, man. It does not make sense. It does not make sense that we would have to play with ourselves. And what they're really wanting is your emotional energy. What they really want is your spiritual energy. Because every time you go onto Corn, every time you go onto the websites, okay, what you're really doing is you're giving your energy away spiritually to these entities, to these dark forces, to not only the people that are involved with the Corn, but also to the demons that have possessed them, because these are truly demonically possessed people that are striving to make sure you don't know about this. Semen retention is the best kept secret for, and well, not for men, but from men. Semen retention is the best kept secret from men, and celibacy in general is the best kept secret for people in general. If you're a woman watching this and you're wanting to learn more about things and all that, and just what exactly semen retention is, you're just not releasing your essence. Okay, that's really what it's about. And so these demonic entities are going to come to you in dreams, maybe. They're going to come to you in images in your mind, because if you think about it, there's really two ways of going about this life in regard to thought. You're either thinking about words or linguistic qualities, where you're actually perceiving the written word, or you're having images come into your mind the way that you think. There's also two ways that you can grow closer to God in this life. Yahuwah, Yeshua. Just to clarify again. There's two ways that you can do this. You can meditate and pray, which is a basic form of calming down your nervous system, because if your nervous system is stuck in the parasympathetic, or the sympathetic nervous system rather, because the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for digestion, calmness, etc. Sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight response. Okay, so you want to make sure that your fight or flight response is not the kind of nervous system that you're operating under. So how do you relieve that? How do you grow closer to Yahweh, Yahuwah with this? You meditate, pray, calms down the nervous system. You eat proper foods. The other way is excessive physical exercise. Okay, I made a video yesterday called Fat People, again, I made a video yesterday called Fat Chosen Ones Don't Exist. Fat people do exist, but fat chosen ones don't exist. And the comments were pretty funny to watch, because I had people literally justifying in the comments, trying to justify their fatness. It's like, oh, well, you'd be surprised who's God's favorite people. Okay. I don't think God wants us to be gluttonous. I don't think God wants us to be lazy and slothful. Those are both sins. Okay? I'm not saying you need to be the fittest person alive, or you need to be taking steroids or anything like that. That bird sounded way closer than, I don't know if you guys could hear that. That bird sounded really close. I didn't see if it was on camera, but it's not about taking steroids. It's not about being unnatural. It's about actually just living a naturally, conventionally healthy life, a practically healthy life. And a lot of this can start with maintaining sexual discipline. If you can maintain sexual discipline, you're going to get a lot of different places in life. The doors that are going to be opening up to you are going to be so drastic that you didn't even know that these doors were available to be opened. It's almost like, I've described this kind of thought process with a couple of people in my consultations, but it's almost like there's a door in the house that you never knew was a door up until you just happened to press on the right spot on the wall, and boom, there's a door that opens into this new place. And that's how semen retention can really be for a lot of different kinds of people, because you start to really, once you're eating well as well as maintaining your essence and holding in your essence, what's actually happening is that you're starting to get more in touch with nature. You're starting to get more in touch with the reality as it is, rather than the fantasy that you want things to be. And the more that you do this, the more you level up, the deeper the rabbit hole goes. It's almost like sometimes you wouldn't be able to handle it if it weren't for you being on semen retention. And you can actually regulate your emotions better. You can regulate the way that you think better. You can regulate your digestive system, your immune system. Everything's going up in regard to the increase of long-term prosperity and peace. But you're also being exposed more to the evils around you, because then you'll start to see just how evil a lot of these women and men are. If you're not on God's team, you're on somebody else's team, okay? Let me just make that clear. And I'm on team God. I'm on team Yahuwah, okay? This is so paramount to where we are going in life that to misunderstand the gravity of the situation means to willingly put your life into the hands of deceivers, into the hands of wickedness, into the hands of workers of iniquity. These are legitimately, like, for people that don't know just how crazy this world is, we are at every single corner trying to be oppressed in the ways that we are being forced to think that we're not being oppressed in, but we're actually being oppressed in these ways. And what God has revealed to me, what Yahuwah has revealed to me over the past 2.5 years of semen retention now, since May of 2022, and I've been walking with Yeshua and Yahuwah for 3 years, almost to the day. And what Yahuwah has showed me and what Yeshua has showed me is that you are more oppressed than you could possibly imagine. You don't really own your home if you even pay off the mortgage because of taxes and property taxes, HOA fees. You don't really own your car because you have to pay registration and such, and you have to pay insurance in order to drive it. If you have your own business, you don't really own your own business. You have to pay taxes on that. You have to register for a license every year to have a business. You have to pay property taxes if your business is on a property. You really don't own anything. When the elites say you'll own nothing and be happy about it, they want you to believe that. That's their plan. Okay, that's their plan for you. And your job is to question everything and really get to the bottom of the truth. Because if you really are seeking the truth, you're going to get it. Okay, you're going to get it. Health insurance is a scam. all these insurance companies are in cahoots with the government. All of the governments that we have in our world are in cahoots with each other. And this is all one big stage, ladies and gentlemen. This is all one big stage. And semen retention is going to be a way that you can really give yourself the spiritual energy to fight this, because we are in a battle for the souls of humanity. That's what this is. This is a spiritual war. And the sooner that you recognize this, the sooner you'll get to the truth. And the sooner that you get to the truth, the sooner that you abide by the truth and live in the truth, the sooner you'll be able to let falsehoods die. And why do you want to let falsehoods die? Because then at that point, you're actually spiritually fulfilled. You're no longer empty. And you're doing that which is great for yourself and for the people around you. Now, with all that being said, I do want to thank everybody that's been moving over from YouTube over to the X and the Rumble platform. I want to thank everybody for all of the DMs in my Instagram as well. I also want to give a shout out to everybody in the Regal Change Academy. If you want to join the free Discord channel, there's a link in the description box below. If you want to join the paid community, where you're going to get more resources, weekly group calls. We have a weekly group call called the Regal Assembly that we're doing. We have a Bible study that we're starting up as well. That's going to be in the paid community, in the link in the description box. In the paid community, we're also doing a 7-week course for the 7 deadly sins coming up. And this is actually starting on October 19th. And it's just a few days away. Registration is just a few days away. So now is the time to get in, and we're going to be talking about one sin per week, reading Dante's Inferno, and we're going to have tasks that correlate with each sin every week. And with all that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you, and may the grace of Yeshua be with you.